Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. Today I'm going to recap games that I played all the way back in June 2023. Spent a lot of time traveling to Texas, Washington, Santa Barbara over the summer, was out of town for about 10 weeks, actually almost 11 weeks, and so didn't really take the time to make any videos, and so wanted to kind of recap the summer, but do it in a more brief way than I typically do. So instead of showing you all the boxes and talking about every game, I'm going to use BGG to kind of streamline the process and just highlight the games that I enjoyed the most in the month of June. So if you're curious to see what those games were, stay tuned. So on BGG, you can see here the list of games that I've played in 2023. And as I said, we're going to focus in on June, had 32 gameplays. Checking out the thumbnails, you'll be able to see that I played 21 different games. 7 of these games were new to me, and I believe it was 15 gameplays of those 32 that were games that were new to me at least the first time I played them. Most played game, Cascadia, played that one. It's got to be closing in on 100 times by now over the last few years. Played Acropolis quite a bit, and actually Cascadia I played mostly online. There's a little, I forget the site, I think it's a GitHub site that has a solo version of it you can play online. So that's where I played most of my versions of Cascadia that month. Acropolis was all on BGA. Explorers on another little website, a link that I can put the links down below for those because those were all 3 online games. Played Quicks Deluxe with some friends out at dinner one night. They taught us how to play that, and I had never played Quicks. It's a fun little game. Stroganoff is a new game to me as well that is a really wonderful game that I enjoyed quite a bit. It's one that's by Andreas Stedding, who also made Gugong, and I really love Gugong, so I was excited to try Stroganoff. And I played it a couple times here for the first time in June, and then I've played it since as well. But I really like the track and the way you have to be sometimes in front of the other players to earn benefits, but other times it's better to be at the same place that they are, and other times it might be better to be behind, and you want to put out these little posts so that you can take actions on tiles where you're not at. And there's just a lot of interesting decision making that happens in that game, Stroganoff. Plus, I really enjoy the art and the theme of the game. And so that was a really fun one. Seven Wonders played on BGA. Azul played on BGA. Bandito played that same night with friends out at the pizza joint. And that was a fun one. I don't remember if we won or not. I think we probably didn't. Most of the times when we played that game, we haven't won. Biblios was a new one to me, and so I got to try that one for the first time. That was kind of fun. Caldera Park, I think this is the first time I played it, but then played it a bunch other times through the summer. And that was a fun little tile laying game. Castles of Burgundy, one of my favorite games of all time. Played that one, I think, in person. I think that was after I had received my special edition, which is behind me on the shelf, and taught my wife to play. So I think that may have been when I got that. Castronauts was one that we tried for the first time. I picked that up to play with the grandkids because I knew we were going to be going up to Seattle at the end of the summer, and had a good deal on that one, so wanted to take that up to play with them. Earth is a game that we got back to the table again. Ramen Fury, another new one that I picked up cheap. Just thought it'd be fun to play with the kids in Seattle. Rawa, I played online. It was, I think, in alpha mode maybe back when we played it. Interesting tile laying game where you're trying to maximize scoring in either rows or columns. Tichu, actually, I'm still playing this game. Started in June, but we're doing it asynchronous on BGA, which I do not recommend. And we're still playing it now. I think it's about to finally end, and I'll be glad when that one's over. I think it would be fun to play in person, but playing it asynchronous on BGA hasn't been a lot of fun, at least not for me. Tender Blocks is another little pocket game, which is fun with little wooden pieces where you're trying to, it's a dexterity game. You're trying to build up as the cards dictate the fire and the marshmallows and the logs. Lots of fun. Tranquility, we played that one on BGA, and honestly, I don't remember too much about it. I remember you had to get the numbers in order, and it's a cooperative game. I just played it that one time. Trois dice, it is a dice game, not Trois the dice game, but Trois we played on BGA as well. I'd like to play that one in person. I had never played it before, and I was just kind of skimming the rules as I was traveling, and so I don't still feel like I have a great feeling for that game yet. Zolk and the Mayan Calendar, also on BGA, and kind of the same as Trois. I didn't feel like I got a great understanding of that game because I was trying to sort of read the rules and play, and it was while I was doing a lot of traveling as well. Welcome to, never had played that one. Played that one on BGA. That was much easier to understand, and I enjoyed it. I'm not a huge fan of roll and writes, and Welcome to is kind of just, for me, I know a lot of people love it. For me, it was just another roll and write. So I enjoyed it, but didn't love it. And I would always be happy to play it, but I don't know that I would necessarily ever want to buy it. All right, so looking at those 21 games, I'll start first with some of my favorites that were not new to me, and then talk about the favorite that was new to me. So the ones that were not new to me, my favorite of all, Castles of Burgundy. I really love that game, continue to love it. I mentioned it in my May video as well. And then Cascadia, even though I've played that so many times, I still just enjoy, whether it's in person with the actual tiles or online, it's just such a fun game to play. So those are my two not new to me games that I really loved the most. And then for the new games, I'd have to say pretty far and away in this month, my favorite new game was Stroganoff. And as I mentioned, I would have to try Troyes and Zolkin again to see if I really, how much I'm going to like those. I feel like I need to play the physical version before I can make any kind of call on those. But Stroganoff, as I mentioned earlier in this video, there are so many little things I like about it. The time management, just timing your decisions perfectly. And there's some competition for both spots and rewards and when and where you can put your posts. And there's some strategy for the different animals that you're hunting and just the actions you choose and when you pay extra to do extra actions. So many really clever decision-making points throughout the game. I'm really enjoying that game, and did also back the crowdfunding event that they had for that to get the upgraded version of it, because this was the Kickstarter version that I bought used from somebody, but there were some things that weren't great about that original Kickstarter, so they had a really terrific deal on the newest one with the expansion and kind of an upgrade of all the key components of the original. So I'm excited to get that big box upgrade and the expansion, and I just look forward to playing Stroganoff again whenever I have a chance. Played it other times here in the summer, so you'll see it show up again in July, but Stroganoff, really a wonderful game in my opinion. So those are the games I played and some of my favorites and the reasons why I like them. Of these games that you see in my games played, which are your favorite? And if you remember all the way back to June what you played, or just over the summer, some of your favorite games that you played, I'd love to hear about that. So leave some comments down below to let me know what your favorite games over the summer were. As always, thanks for watching. This is Billy, Indiana, signing off.